Victor Wembanyama is more than just a basketball player. For many people, he represents the future of the NBA itself. Ever since entering the league, Wembanyama has created a reaction very few athletes ever truly generate. Because players his size are not supposed to move the way he does. At 7'4", he handles the ball like a guard, shoots off the dribble, protects the rim, and covers space in ways that often look unnatural on an NBA court. And over time, the comparisons surrounding him slowly stop sounding human. People called him an alien, a prototype, the future of basketball. With every game, the mythology around him keeps growing. Highlights spread across social media within minutes. Fans debate what he could eventually become. Players struggle to explain him, because basketball has never really seen anything like this before. Not this size, not this mobility, not this level of coordination. But beyond the physical tools, what makes Wembanyama so fascinating is what he represents. Evolution. The feeling that basketball itself may eventually start changing because of players like him. And in a world shaped by technology, adaptation, and survival, that idea becomes terrifying. Because the future won't reward normal humans forever. It'll reward the people capable of evolving faster than everyone else around them. And honestly, Victor Wembanyama already feels built for that world. To understand why the future would turn Wembanyama into a monster, we need to break this down into 3 categories. First, why Wembanyama already feels ahead of his time. Second, what makes the future such a dangerous place. And finally, why a world built around evolution and adaptation could transform Wembanyama into something unstoppable. So first, why does Wembanyama already feel so different from everybody else? Because physically, he breaks almost every expectation people have for a human body. Normally, players that tall aren't supposed to move fluidly. They aren't supposed to recover defensively the way he does. And they definitely aren't supposed to handle the basketball like perimeter players. But Wembanyama does all of it naturally. And that's why watching him often feels unsettling. Not because he dominates people physically, but because he makes that dominance look effortless. There are moments where NBA players genuinely look smaller around him, slower, limited, almost outdated, and psychologically that matters. Because throughout history, the things people feared most were usually the things they didn't fully understand yet, and Wembanyama already creates that feeling now. When guards drive into the paint against him, there are moments where they hesitate before even attempting the shot. Not because they're scared of contact, but because his presence changes the geometry of the court itself. Space disappears around him. Passing lanes close instantly. Shots that normally feel open suddenly feel impossible. And over time, that starts affecting players mentally, because eventually Wembanyama stops feeling like a normal defender. He starts feeling unavoidable. That's what makes certain athletes terrifying. Not just dominance, inevitability, and every season Wembanyama keeps evolving. The shooting improves, the handle tightens, the confidence grows, more patience, more control, more understanding of the game itself. And that constant evolution is exactly why the future feels like such a perfect environment for him. Because the future itself could become terrifying. Not through destruction alone, but through adaptation, technology, artificial intelligence, surveillance, cybernetic enhancement. A world where everything evolves faster than humans can comfortably process. And in environments like that, weakness becomes visible immediately. Every limitation gets exposed. Every mistake gets punished. Over time, people either evolve with the world around them or become obsolete. And psychologically, that pressure changes everything. Because eventually, survival stops belonging to the strongest people physically and starts belonging to the people capable of adapting the fastest. Precision, efficiency, control. The future rewards those traits. And honestly, those are already the exact qualities people see in Wembanyama now. Because what makes him special isn't just his body. It's how quickly he learns, how quickly he adjusts, how quickly he evolves. Even now, there are moments where Wembanyama feels less like a rookie developing and more like the first version of something basketball hasn't fully caught up to yet. And that's where this starts becoming dangerous. Because in futuristic environments, fear often comes from unpredictability. The feeling that something more advanced than you is standing right in front of you. And Wembanyama naturally creates that feeling already. Players his size are supposed to have weaknesses: slow feet, poor coordination, limited mobility. But every time people think they found a limitation in Wembanyama's game, he adapts. And over time, that becomes mentally exhausting for opponents, because you can't comfortably prepare for something that keeps evolving. Now imagine placing someone like that inside a future built entirely around evolution, a world obsessed with optimization, performance, adaptation, a world where technology constantly pushes humans beyond their natural limits. Wembanyama wouldn't just survive in that environment. He'd probably grow stronger because of it. Because the future rewards people capable of processing change faster than everyone else around them. And throughout his career, that's exactly what Wembanyama has consistently shown. Adaptation. Again and again. Every new challenge becomes another adjustment, another improvement, another evolution. And eventually, opponents stop feeling like they're competing against a normal basketball player. They start feeling like they're competing against the next version of the sport itself. That's what makes futuristic environments so psychologically dangerous. The fear that you're already falling behind. And Wembanyama naturally creates that feeling already. Now, does this guarantee Wembanyama dominates the future? No. The future would still be brutal, unpredictable, constantly changing. But when you combine a world built around evolution, intelligence, and adaptation with someone who already feels physically ahead of his own generation, you stop looking at Victor Wembanyama like a normal athlete and start looking at him like the beginning of something entirely new.